Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to episode 193 of Enter Crypto, where twice a day I keep you informed and fully up to date on all things crypto. If that sounds like something you would be interested in, then like, subscribe, and click on the notifications bell to receive all future updates. So the story this evening is not so much a story as in something that's happened in the wider world, but actually more about price action. This is from CoinDesk's markets section, and it's titled Bitcoin Breakout Puts 28k in View. We're talking in dollars now. The cryptocurrency's swift move above a resistance level dating back to August 2022 has strengthened the case for a continued rally. So we are talking obviously about the recent jump in price. I mean, Bitcoin 3 or 4 months ago was down to 69, I think 17k, definitely in the $17,000 range. I think on some exchanges it went down to 69, 16.8. So if you were lucky enough to buy it then well done. But I certainly didn't. I didn't know it was going to go that low. Although the probability of it going even lower, a lot of expert traders have said was very high. Some people are even calling for 13k, 12k, and I even saw a couple of quite respectable traders calling for 3k, $3,000 Bitcoin, which would have liquidated Michael Saylor and his MicroStrategy. For anyone who doesn't know, he's got billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin through his company MicroStrategy, and he's done it all on leverage, basically taken loans to buy the Bitcoin. And so if it goes below a certain price, which I think is about $3,500, he'll get liquidated for billions. But let's not hope that happens. I mean, that still could happen, but it's we've now got some strength in the Bitcoin price. So let's read through the article quickly, and then we'll comment after. Having cleared a major resistance level during Friday's Asian trading hours, is looking north. Bitcoin is looking north. The top cryptocurrency rose past $25,000, breaching the resistance dating back to August 2022 that also capped gains last month. The move has shifted the focus to the next technical hurdle above 28k. Bitcoin has now the chance to climb to the next technical level, which is situated at 28k. Marcus Thielen, the head of research and strategy at crypto financial services firm Matrixport, said, "Within larger price swings, Bitcoin has rallied, reacted, and retested from $4,000 point increments. So that's 16k, 20k, 24k, from which the current breakout is now targeting 28k, Thielen added. Wall Street's tech-heavy Nasdaq index rose 2.6% on Thursday, confirming a bullish pattern on the daily chart. According to chartered market technician Axel Chibar, Bitcoin tends to move more or less in line with the rate-sensitive stocks." Now, the reason Bitcoin and crypto market moves, as they're calling it, the rate-sensitive tech stocks, it actually moves if you look at the correlation with the S&P 500. So whenever the S&P goes up or shows any strength, crypto is kind of like the US stock market, the S&P 500 on steroids. So if we get a 5%, I mean, that's quite a lot. If we get, say, a 2%, 3% uptick in the S&P, we usually can get like 10-15% is not unheard of in the Bitcoin price, and then even bigger gains on your altcoins. So there's always been that correlation. Now recently, that last week when we saw the banks fail in the US, the three major banks, actually Bitcoin rallied on this, which made a lot of people think that the sort of Bitcoin long-term narrative was coming true, and that narrative is that Bitcoin is a hedge against the current economic financial system or global system, and that actually Bitcoin is a flight to safety, much like gold is. The reality is that the correlation has always been there up until this week, so it has never been a flight to safety. That's just the reality. A lot of Bitcoiners do not like to admit it, but the charts do not lie. But up until last week, when the banks started failing, Bitcoin rallied and nothing else was rallying. So the US stock market didn't do anything. The banks obviously started failing. Their stock was down massively, especially things like Credit Suisse was down 22%, which is obviously not in America, obviously, but just the banks across the board. Global banks were down as people lost confidence, and Bitcoin started rallying. So we went from 20k, 22, 24. Now we're at 26. It's now $26,564. So you know, you can really miss opportunities if you're not careful and you're not looking. Bitcoin moves at a lightning pace when it wants to. You know, it can seem like it's been sat there forever at 20k or 25k, and you're like, oh, this thing never moves, it never does anything. But in reality, when you look back at the chart, you realise it just hasn't moved for like 4 days, which is nothing. You know, no asset. I mean, crypto is super volatile. I think because people get used to the volatility. Actually, then when it just doesn't do anything for a few days, people get impatient and think that it's kind of a boring asset when it's the complete opposite. So this is some good news. A lot of people don't like talking about price, or think that it's kind of crude to talk about price, and it's not very, not a very intellectual pursuit. But the reality is, Bitcoin is priced in dollars, and we have to focus on that. If we want to make money, then that's what we have to look at. So an interesting thing, and with Bitcoin showing strength, it'll be really interesting to see what happens next and where it goes if we do get to 28k. I think it's almost, obviously nobody knows the future, including me. However, we can say that the probabilities and the possibility of it getting to 28k, in my opinion, is high. I think for it not to do that now, because of the amount of strength that it's shown at these levels, and the breakouts, the classic breakouts that it's gone through, the bull flag patterns that we've seen on, if you're into chart analysis or technical trading, then you'll know that this has shown huge amount of strength. And so because of that, I think it's just almost destiny that it goes back up to 28k and beyond. The only thing I would think that could stop this, I mean, of course this can happen, is any kind of black swan event. You know, so for example, something just totally unexpected that happens in the world. Like, I don't know, like, maybe America declares war on Russia or something crazy. Something crazy would have to happen for it to now to go back down to lows. So could it happen? Yes, it can. What are the likelihoods or the chances of it happening? Slim compared to all the other outcomes. So an interesting article and something to think about there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me what price level you think, where do you think the strength is, what price do you think will hold, and or even what's the lowest you think we could go to before we start another bull market cycle. So as always, guys, thank you for watching and listening. Remember, everybody, to please subscribe to the channel, join my team, and I'll keep you updated on all things crypto every 12 hours. So don't forget to smash the like button if you feel you got value from this video, and I'll see you all in 12 hours time.